Welcome, my dear students, for our first lecture in the business law, the Canadian business law. And we will talk today about the introduction into Canadian business law. What are the branches of the law? What do we mean by statute law? What we do mean by common law? What are the types of courts in Canada? And we'll take about 3 lectures that all to be inclusive with examples about the rules of the law and about the branches of the courts, the types of the courts. So let us move for our first slides, and we will be using these slides that will help also to achieve the reason why I'm doing it. So our work will be on that slides, which I put it for the curriculum in your curriculum, and it's there on your portal. So that will help so much. The law in today's society, the law is having a very important role for the people to govern their behavior. And this is the why the law is important. Law are made by people and for the people. This sentence is very beautiful. It's made by the people and for the people, as you see. Okay, law exists to help protect society, to help protect the society, and keep lawlessness from occurring. So all the society will be governed by law. If I know, everybody know that if you breach the law here, you will pay fine, or you will have offense, or this is a criminal or whatever, or criminal act based on the criminal act, or you did a crime. If you know all this, then, and you know the rules in front of you, then you will avoid to do it. For that reason, the whole society will be safe when whole the society know what he has to do and what he ought not to do. All types of law provides regulations and rules, that's fine, about how we conduct ourselves and how business conduct their business affairs. So everybody, as long as he's adult, more than 18 or 19 years of old, then he know everything in details about what's going on in the society. If he doesn't know, he has to learn, because the law does not guarantee for you that you are ignorant. You say, I don't know. No, that's not in the law. If you breach the law, you cannot say, I am having my own compromise because I didn't know. You cannot say like this. You have to know. You have to know what is right and what's wrong, what is lawful and what's legal and what is illegal in all your behavior. About how we conduct ourselves in policy to ensure a fair society. A fair society, like I am here now, a fair society. Okay, dokie, that's the point. So as example, a fair society. So now this is, law helps countries achieve stability, because once we all are good, once we all are doing what we have to do, once we ought to do what we know what to do and what not to do, then we are working good citizens in our society, which creates that the country's success on many levels: political, social, cultural, and economic levels. So this will help the country to develop itself as well. As long as everything is stable, as everything, no breaching for the law or just in the minor, everyone knows what he has to do and what he has not to do. Everyone in the society is doing his work perfect 100%, then that will evolve this society and will develop this country. The law is very important. That's why we want to say here in this page that the law and applying the law is very important. And law is imposed, is forcible. Forcible means you have to execute it. You have to obey the order. Like if you cut a signal in the traffic, if you breach a signal and it was red and you didn't stop and you move, you know that you will pay a fine, or this is will lead you to a prison for offense. If you know that impaired driving is considered like a crime, then you will not drive while you are drinking. So you have to obey the law because the law is forcible, and forcible by equity on all the people, not forcible on some people and the others. No, it's equal for all the people. Okay. So now as example, let us say we are talking about to protect the people, the law from the people, and to serve the people, to arrange my life and to arrange your life. And this is why we say as example here, we give example about the kidnapping as a murder or murder. All those are criminals. Criminal acts is under the shadow of the criminal acts. There are many federal and provincial. We will talk about the federal law, the provincial law, and municipal law later on. And those all will help to protect your business. One of the things of will protect your business here, it's highlighted in yellow, is the PIPEDA, P-I-P-E-D-A, which stands for personal information. P for personal, I for information, P for protection, E electronic, D document, and A act. PIPEDA, like you see, the Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act. What about the PIPEDA? What is the importance of the PIPEDA? The PIPEDA will protect your information. You, as a business, need to protect your own information. You need to work in a safe environment. You need to not one of the competitors to know everything about the secrets of your work and take it and get advantage, make advantage of using this. No, in that case, the PIPEDA Act will help you. The Personal Information Protection and the Electronic Documents will help you to protect your information and also provide guidelines for business surrounding their legal and ethical responsibilities. It shows what are the rights of everyone working at work, what are the things should be done, what things should not be done. Also, the way the transfer of the information, how the others will use your information. They will misuse your information, or they will use it only to protect your rights. And this is another point. As example, your SIN number or whatever, your credit card number. Those are all, it's all your own private information, and you have to keep it safe. You have to keep it safe. The PIPEDA is the act which will help on the protection, of, see the word protection, of your personal information. And it shows what are the guidelines, how to protect it in the society. PIPEDA, or Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Acts, apply to the collection. So sites which collect your information about your Visa card number, about your SIN number. Use, if you are applying for a job in any company, they will ask you for your SIN number. They might ask you for a credit card or your bank account number, so that they will send the pay there. So PIPEDA will arrange the limits of their use and not to breach that and go to your privacies, or use this as example. I am working in a company and they asked me, send us your credit card number. And what happened? I sent the credit card number. Then the owner of the company which I'm working for, his son by chance saw the credit card number, and he went and he bought from the internet. He made the shopping from the internet with my credit card number. So what will happen in that case? What's supposed to be in this case? In the case if someone breach your rights, what will happen? On the course of commercial activities we are talking, organization covered by the act must obtain an individual's consent when they collect, use, or disclose the individual's personal information. So if you are sharing your information with the others, the PIPEDA asked for your consent that you did this willingly, you did this voluntarily, you did this with your own desire to transfer your private information to others. But still, there are like the name and the address is not private information. So it must, if it's asked about this, the telephone number also is not a private information, is exception from the PIPEDA. is exception from the PPDA. The individual has the right to access this information, or no. In that case, he has to, when you write the consent, sign the consent, you see it always in the websites that you consent that you agree to share your information for the purpose of your own benefits. As example, if you are hired in a company and they need they must have your own SIM card number, the SIM card, or they must have your accounting number, a bank accounting number, so they can switch your own pay. They can transfer your own pay into your account. So in that case, you have to give it to them, and you will write a consent that you agreed by yourself. This is from your side. You agreed to afford them this private information. But from the other side, the one which you send to, or the company, they have to keep also the PP that arrange their own responsibilities about the information which you sent, that they have to keep it safe and secret, and just for the use, and for the use only to process your hiring process or whatever. So also it's, but not use it in personal or misuse the information which you send to them. That's very big move. If they do like this, considered like a crime. Okay. So for that reason, we say business law is just one area of law. We will come now to define the business law. But before I define the business law, actually, I have to stop here and ask a question. And I will ask a question. Here, I will say, what do we mean by the PPDA? One, what do we mean by, then here PIPEDA. What do you mean by PPDA? Oh, sorry. What do we mean by PPDA? PIPEDA. What do you mean by the PPDA? Like we said before, is here personal information protection, electronic data. Then I will leave for you here for this question around 5 minutes to answer this question. And you can Google also, search the Google for extra information if you need extra information. You can search Google for extra information if you want. Just want to remove this too. Yeah, here we go. What do we mean by the PPDA, which is the first question here? Don't care about 3 lines, you can answer in more than 3 lines. Shall stop here for about 5 minutes for answer of this question. We will stop for the answer of this question for 5 minutes, then we will move into the next part of our lecture. Okay. Also, I just want to say that here you have to send the answer on the chat box. Send your answers on the chat box. Thank you so much. Okay, this was our first work today. We'll back after the answer. I hope everyone answered the question very well. I will delete this slide, then here. Let us move now into the definition of the business law. What do we mean by the business law? What do we mean by the business law? So the business law is just one area of law. It is one area because we have many law like tort law, we have private law, we have common law. Business law is one of them. It has a various aspects and many are even intertwined. In this textbook, we will be looking at the components of the law that a business person should have some reasonable ideas of so they can make informed decisions. So like we will see the cases and what happened in the law and the courts. And from that, we will know, we'll come to say, in that case, I know this happened. So if it is repeated with me, it will be, the situation will be like this in the courts or whatever. No, when they might be in trouble and require legal advice. So you will know, am I doing what I'm doing right or wrong? If I write an invoice with a price, invoice to the buyer with a fixed price, then I came to change the price back. If this is legal or illegal. Okay, what are the consequences of such a behavior of mine? So all this you will come to know through the business law. If I am like I have a hotel and I'm renting the rooms, and all of a sudden I came into the room while the person is sleeping inside just for a check. If this is right or wrong, what are the consequences of this? The tenant or the person who has the room, who rent the room, do I have to breach his privacy in any moment or no? So you will come to know, okay, what are the consequences in such a behavior like this? Laws are in place to protect the business. Yes. The over, can you please see, watch this prompt, which is moving. The owner and the public. Law also guide the business person in the proper way. So these are why the law is there. What is the effect of the law and why it's working there? In order to conduct a business properly, business owner must understand the importance of risk management. This is another point we will talk about now. What do we mean by the risk? Risk is the difference or the gap between the actual results and the standards. Okay, if I plan to get $100 profit today, I will work today and get $100 profit. I only got at the end of the day, this is the planned $100. But actually what happened that I got when I worked, I got only at the end of the day $60. I planned for 100, I got only really actually 60. I planned 100, actual 60. Then the risk is 100 minus 60 will equal 40. 100 minus 60 will equal 40. This we call it risk. Risk is the gap between the standards or the planned and the actual results. Risk is the gap or the difference between. So risk equals standards minus actual results. So risk means the difference or the gap between the expected and the actual. And the risk happen also always from many reasons. Risk of the volcanoes, earthquakes because of natural disasters, or risk because technical errors or human errors, that all leads to a risk. So the business law also help in mitigating the risk and reducing the risk. That's why it is doing. And how a business person can protect their business employee and customers from actions that could damage them. These are the why we consider the business a kind of A business law kind of protecting against or trying to reduce the risk as much as possible, is helping. The business law is helping to reduce the risk as much as possible. This was about the risk management focus on the action of a business and knowledge of the law so that it will be avoid. So when you know the consequences of what you are doing in your business, you know what is right and what's wrong, then you, by this way, by this mean, when you know what is legal and what is illegal, then you consequently you will be able to reduce your risk, because risk of breaching the law is or making things wrong that will lead to a fine or offense or crime decisions by the courts. So this will lead you to a big trouble. So if you know before you do it that this is wrong, this is right, then you will reduce this risk. You will reduce this risk. Business ethics and the law. Business ethics and the law. So what is the business ethics and what is the law? This is a very important point. Business ethics involves the way a business behaves and compasses the moral decisions made by stakeholders. It's very tiny and very, you cannot separate between the law and the ethics, because most of the law rules are created or based upon ethical rules. No one of us does not know that killing is a sin, and cheating is sin, and thievery is bad. And the law is saying the same things. That's so the rules of ethic and the rules of the law are almost the same. Are almost the same. Okay. Business decisions must take, see this, business decisions must take into account what is good for those affected by the business, such as employees, shareholders, suppliers, customers, and society in general. So all the business decisions should take in consideration the good of all these parties, supplier, customer, society in general. So must have upon all this and ideas upon all this. Okay, so this is now the business decisions and how the business and the rules are together in the same boat. The business and the ethical decisions are in the same boat. They are the same, because most of the law acts, the law rules, and the ethic rules are almost the same, like what we said before. They are almost the same. They look like each other and they act like each other. Okay. I will give you some examples for ethical decisions here. Some examples for ethical decisions. As example, how to handle a sexual harassment complaint by an employee in a way that does not hurt the business, yet ensure the employee is cared for. So this is a ethical decision, right? You will keep your business and at the same time, you will check out the complaint seriously. How to submit information to Canada Revenue Agency regarding its taxes to maximize financial profits while at the same time following tax rules. You don't want to pay all of our naturally, we are built upon not to sacrifice. So a kind of paying taxes is a kind of sacrificing, which is not very desirable by the people. People like to earn, but they don't like to pay. Okay, how you will pay, and at the same time you keep on your business, because the part which you will pay to the taxes will be cut off your profits, will be from your profits. So how you will make a balance between both of them, between the payment to the taxes and between increasing your profit? This is another ethical rule. You have to be very honest in what you earn. You have to report what you earned honestly. Don't cheat in this. As example, if you are making 100,000 a year, say that you make in your private work 100,000, but don't say I make only 20,000 so that you will gain 80,000. This is ethical decision. And also it's like you see, it's very binded to the rules decisions, the law decisions. Okay. Also, uh, how to present the information provided to shareholders in the annual report. How to present the information provided to shareholders in the annual report in a way that allows the numbers to reflect the significant work of the business, but does not skew the data. So those are all examples for ethical rule. We'll stop here now and we will go to our Google Classroom and we will ask some questions. If you don't have D2L, sorry, we'll go to the D2L. If you don't have D2L working till the moment, you can use the chat box. Again, for the people who has D2L, you can work these questions, which I will work now on the D2L. For my dear students who do not have D2L, I will put the question also on the chat box so you can have the question on the chat box as well. So the question will be here and the question, same question will be here. I will put now, I will go to my portal, to our portal, and put our first group of questions, include the previous question. And we'll keep it, yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Take time, I'm sorry about that, but once it's done, this will be fine. Once it's done, that will be fine. Sorry about this time, it's wasting time and just getting, but it will be okay now. It's heavy in loading. This is the portal, the D2L. Here we go. Finally, we got our I learn. Here we go now. So we'll go for business. business law. Here we go for the business law. And I will set the question right away. Then will be able activities, quizzes, new quiz. And here we'll go lecture one, question one. That should be on lecture one, question one. So the questions, the same questions which we put on the D2L, we'll put here right away. Add new question, response. What do we mean by business law? But first, what do we mean by the PPEDA? This question will take it. Control and C. And we'll put this question here. Here we go. Enable the students. Then save. This was the first question we work upon today. I will add another question. Now I will go to the activities, quizzes. This is ungraded, but very important. The quiz. Lecture one, question two. Lecture one, question two. And here, what we will say here, define the business law. Define the business law and set its importance. Define the business law and set its importance. Define the business law and set its importance. Here the question is here, define the business law and set its importance, say why the business law is important. Also, we'll have the third question. So I will take here, define the business law and say its importance. Also this question here, number 2. Define business law and set its importance. And set its importance. Define business law and set its importance. So we will also, under this question, we will, it's in Google D2L now. The third question we will have today is about the ethical dilemma or the ethical rules. That's what we will talk about just now. It is about the ethical rules. So we'll go to it now and see, we talk about the ethical rules and we talk about the rule, business and ethics and the law. I would say business and ethics and the law just to comment. I want you to comment on this sentence. Business and ethics and the law, just comment on that sentence. Control and C. And here is the question 3. Control and V. 3 here. Business and ethics and the law, just comment. I will take the same question and put it on the D2L, Control and C. I will go to the D2L also, and we will answer together this question. It's all around what we are working around here today. Then here, lecture 1, question 3. Lecture 1, question 3. Here we go. And we'll add a new question, written response, and the question is here, Control and V, business ethics and the law, dots, comment. So I just want you to comment on this sentence, just to comment on this system. That is how it works. That's what I want you to do now, and comment on this sentence. I will wait here around another like around 10 minutes, because we took 2 questions new now. We're 10 minutes in this 2-3 questions, and till you are done from it, then we will move into the next part of our lecture today. You can use also the slides, because you have the slides. You can get the answer from the slides. You can Google it as well. So you can Google it or use the slides for the answers. Before we move into the types of law, again, the answer of these 3 questions are here from page 1 on the slides to page number 7, the 3 questions. And you can Google it as well to get more details in answers, or you can Google completely the answer, as long as you understood me in what I said here. Shall stop here on these 3 questions for few minutes till you guys done fit. Then we will move forward to another thing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have 10 minutes here. Then we will move to a new part, which are the types of law or types of business law. Thank you. Let's work on it. Thank you so much. Also, I want to say that the questions are here in front of you. If you want to answer them, you can answer them also on the Google chat, on the chat box. You can send, if you don't have D2L, if you still have problems in your D2L, please answer them on the chat room, on the Google, on the chat box. You can answer them on the chat box. The 3 questions are here. You can answer them on the chat box. 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3. You can answer these questions on the chat box. You know what is the chat box? Here it is. Just to show you, here is the chat box. We'll have a few more minutes for the 3 questions, like around 5 minutes. Then we'll move forward to another idea. Thank you. So whoever is having a Google D2L, go to answer the questions on the D2L, the 3 questions. You will find them here, the 3 questions. Please answer those 3 questions on the D2L. If you don't have a D2L, then here are the 3 questions. Please answer them on the chat box. Please answer them in the chat box. Whoever do not have a Google class, a D2L, whoever do not have D2L, answer the questions on the chat box, please. Send it to me by the chat box. Okay, 5 more minutes we have, then we'll move forward. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. I think that's enough time to answer the questions. And now we will move into another slide and another topic we will talk about today, which is the types of law. What are the types of law? Actually, we have the public law. The first type of law, we call it the public law. What is the public law? When a business considers an issue, a dispute, or a rule regarding the relation, look at this, regarding the relationship between themselves and the society, the people and the society, or the business and the society, anything between the business and the society, or the person and the society, they must think about public law. Public law, here it is, includes areas of law such as criminal law, administrative law, and constitutional law. So all this goes under the umbrella of the public law. Again, I would say public law includes criminal law, administrative law, and constitutional law. Those are the three areas of the public law. How about the private law? Private law, when a business person is engaged in private law, this refers to the relationship between the individual and another individual. But here it is the public is between the individual and the whole society and the society. So the public is between individual and the society, but the private is between individual and another individual. Again, I would say the public is between the person and the whole society. For that reason, it's including criminal, because my relationship in the society, am I good, doing crimes or whatever. Administrative law and constitutional law from the constitution. Any country must have a constitution. This is the first law for any country, which govern the country, the government, how the government, the land, the people, everything is done in the constitution. When a country is set up, first thing they think about is to have their own constitution before the start of anything in this country. As long as there is government and land and community or society, there must be a constitution. Okay, private law. The second type is the private law. We said the private law is the relationship between the person and another person, a businessman and another businessman, a man who's doing a work and another doing work. So this is, we call it private law. When a business person is engaged in private law, this refers to the relationship between the individual and another individual. Organization, business, or individual, this is where you would find lawsuits. These rules of engagements could involve a dispute, a harm done to someone or their property, or a breach of an agreement between individuals or organizations or business entities. So the private law goes to business with individual, business with business, individual with individual. But the public law goes to individual with the society, all the action in between a private or a person and the society. For that reason, the society give it the word public, but here the person or individual give it the word private. The society give it here the word public, but here the individual give it the word private. These about the two types of law, which are the first types of business law or public law and private law. Third type of law we have in any society is the criminal law. The criminal law. The crime is something of a very serious, and the consequences of the crime is too much. The crimes start like murder, killing, thefts, huge amounts of money, theft of huge amounts of money, vandalism, all those goes under the umbrella of the criminal law. By the way, criminal law is always federal laws. Let us see, what do we mean by criminal law? A criminal law, when an individual or an organization breaks a law, there are serious implications. Simply put, criminal law deals with a set of rules, such as the Criminal Code of Canada, that individuals and organizations must obey. So we have here in Canada the Criminal Code of Canada, in which all the persons and all the cases and all the acts are there to organize the life of the Canadians. Okay, that individuals and organizations must obey. If they do not, then there is a dispute between that individual organization and the organization that will prosecute. As example, the Crown prosecutor, the Crown prosecutor. Criminal law is designed, here we want this sentence. This sentence is very important. Criminal law is designed to protect society from crimes. So criminal law is designed to protect society from crimes such as assault, battery, theft, identified theft, fraud, and murder. And we will mention each of them in brief in the next pages. So criminal law, again, this last sentence is very important because it sums up all the above. Criminal law is designed to protect society from crimes. I will protect the society from the crimes such as assault, battery, theft, identity theft, fraud, and murder. Those are the ways in which the criminal law is assigned to protect the society in. Okay. As examples for the criminal law, we find money laundering, tax evasion, identity theft, bankruptcy, and bankruptcy fraud. Those people who, it will come later on, who try to avoid the bankruptcy by doing avoid the failure by doing bankruptcy fraud, and it's actually they are not bankrupted or anything. We'll see this later on. So those are examples. Money laundering, like you hear about the money laundering from time to time. If someone is doing operations like from trading drugs or trafficking or whatever, then he sends his money to another country to do some investments in other things like detergent factories or whatever. He tried to hide his own origin activity. Tax evasion, when you have to pay to the taxes and you don't want to pay, so you try to escape from the taxes without payment. Identity theft, this is another point also. I took your own personal information and I made it as it's mine, as I am the one who's having this information, it's mine. I use it as it is mine. And bankruptcy fraud, all those are examples that are treated under or included under the criminal law umbrella. It's time now for your break. We will go for our 10 minutes break. Then we will be back within 10 minutes. Please enjoy your break. Thank you so much. Enjoy your break. We'll be back. Thank you. Hello, my dear students, we are back from the break. We are back now from our break. So this was examples for the money laundering, like examples for the criminal. Okay. Till here, we talk about three kinds of law, the public and the private and the criminal law. And here is the fourth branch of laws, which is constitutional law from constitution. Where there is a land and where there is a government and where a group of people, land, governments, people, land, governments, people, then there must be a constitution. Otherwise, that won't be a life. It won't be like a mess. Constitutional law involves issues between our Charter of Rights and Freedom or the Constitution Act and the individuals or organization. This is a specialized area of law where cases is deemed to be important to the citizens of Canada, often appear before the Supreme Court of Canada, because constitutional law deals with the matter of the dominant of a country, of a situation of the whole country. For that reason, it goes its own problems to the Supreme Court of Canada. It's almost limit the exercise of a government power over individuals through the protection of human rights. See, that's what I want to tell you. The constitution law or constitutional law goes to the government power. Like I told you, where there are people, where there is a government, where there is a land, there must be a constitution. The first thing that a country is confirmed or configured is to have their own constitution. The first step to have a government is to build a good constitution. Once a country is set up, it must have a constitution. Power over through the protection of human rights. So this is the constitution is, but those are some duties of the constitution, because it's arranging the relationship between all the institutions of a government or a country, and it's working on the upper level. The exercise of governmental power over individuals through the protection of human rights. So protecting human rights and fundamental freedoms. So when we talk about protecting human rights, this is not about the criminal law we are talking. We are not talking about the private law. We are not talking about the public law, but we are talking, when we talk about human rights, about the constitution law. An example of this would be the right to wear religious symbols in the workplace. Okay, the turban as example, I have the right to wear it in my workplace. The charter will allow me to do this. The charter and the human rights, that's what is done from the controlled by the constitution law, that will allow me to do my own, wear my own religious symbols in the workplace. Or for the Muslim ladies, the hijab, it's also the same thing. So I have the right to do this. This is protected by the constitution itself. Those are human rights protected by the constitution. Last kind of law, we call it, or not the last because we have the tort, administrative law. Administrative law is regarding all the administration points in a country. It's important for a business because each business belongs to an industry that has a group of law and regulations, municipally, provincially, federally, and perhaps internationally, that must be adhered to the administrative law. So the administrative law deal with these points. What are the points? The points are like all the regulations, either provincially or on the province level or a federal level, or in the municipal, like City of Toronto, municipal level, and those paperwork that must be organized, things problems at work. Those all are gone, their own specification point is the administration or administrative law. Example for the administrative is disputes regarding invoices in global transactions nowadays. This is also goes within the administrative law. So this is an example of the use of the administrative law. Tax law. What do we mean by the tax law? Tax law, the tax court of Canada is a superior court in which individuals, because of the business transactions in Canada, so taxes is of a great importance for all the Canadians. For that reason, there are tax law and there are tax courts as well, separated, that works only for the taxes. The tax court of Canada is a superior court in which individuals and companies may litigate with the government of Canada on matters arising under legislations over which the courts has exclusive original jurisdiction. The bulk of the appeals to the court relate to income tax, goods and services taxes, and employment insurance, or the EI, we call it the EI. So now we have to stop and ask questions about each one of them. And I believe that this will be till the end of the this lecture. We will work on the others and we will complete working on the next lecture. So first of all, what do we mean by public law? We'll go question by question. So what do we mean by Control and C? And here is question number 4. Public law. And this is the first of question number 4. Then I will take them also to the portal now. Then the question after this, what do you mean by private law? Same question will be Control and C. I believe we are done for those questions, so we can take the next group. What do you mean by private law? This is 4, this is 5. And number 6 is also, no. The third one we talk about was the criminal law. What do we mean by the criminal law? Here we go. You have 4, 5, and 6. What do we mean by criminal law? So we'll take these 3 today and we'll focus on them. We'll focus on their duties. We said the public between the individual and the society, private between individual or organization and another individual or organization in the society. The third one, criminal, it deals with the big matters like theft, like money laundering, like those which consider as a crime. So those 4 or those 3 are our targeted now. We'll go for our own lecture 1, question 4. We'll go one by one for them. What do you mean by the public law? We'll add this question here now. Whoever is having D2L, please go to the D2L to answer the question. Whoever does not have D2L, please go to the chat box and answer the question. So whoever is having, okay, we'll go also to lecture 1, question 5. Question number lecture 1, question 5. Add questions. Here we go. Number 5, what do you mean by private law? Control and C. Here we go. What do you mean by private law? And here is also, and save it. Then we'll go also to the final question, which is, what do you mean by criminal law, or what's meant by the criminal law? And this is also another question, lecture 1, question 6. And I think we'll stop here for the information, and we'll just retrieve and put the videos back for today's lecture. And we can watch also some videos about each of them to have an idea about each of those laws, how it works. This is lecture 1, question 6. So the question is, what do you mean by the criminal law? And this will be the end information of today. I mean, just to serve those kinds very well and to read or know more about them, as they are very important for any society, particularly the criminal law is very, very important for any society. It's Word 23, and we have 3 questions. Those 3 questions, we will answer them one by one. So we need around 10 minutes. Okay. So we'll stop here around 10 minutes for getting the answer of these 3 questions. Also, let me tell you again that the 3 questions are available here now. So if you don't have D2L, you can answer them on the chat box. You can go to the chat box and answer these questions. Here we go. Here are our 3 questions. What do we mean by public law? What do you mean by private law? What do you mean by criminal law? Those 3. Public law, private law, criminal law. Shall we wait here around 10 minutes to get your answers for the 3 questions? Then we will move to watch a small video around the issue. Then we'll repeat back what we talk about today so that we can memorize, and we will go to a question. What did you come to learn today? What did you come to learn today? So let us first answer these questions. Thank you so much. What is the public law? What is the private law? What is the criminal law? Thank you. We are here for about 10 minutes, then we will move forward. That was about the public law and the private law and the criminal law. And we'll come to the final part of our lecture today, which is, what did we come to learn today? What did we come to learn today? So the last question is always what did we come to learn today? And this is always the final question in each lecture will be like this, to get aware of what we came to learn. It's not too much to learn or much to learn, but it is important to remember what did we come to learn, because everything is built upon the previous lecture. So when we come to the next lecture, we will know, will be easy for us to demonstrate. So what did we come to learn today? This will be our last lecture, last question today. And I will put it also in the portal. Who is ever have the portal? Answer your questions in the portal, that's fine. Whoever is not having a portal, which is D2L, you can answer on the chat box. So our last question, lecture 1, question 6, or question 7, I believe, question 7. What did we come to learn in today's lecture? And let me tell you, what did we come to learn? And I will leave for you to write it on your pace. It's not that you have to write it now. No, you can write it anytime you feel scared after you watch the video back. You can write what is the conclusion of today's lecture to you, and what are the topics which we talk about. And just as a quick reminder, let me remind you with what we came to learn today. I'll put the video back for this 15 minutes that everybody can understand, can see it if you want it back. People who came late, students who came late, students who was not fully aware of the discussion or the discussion. So I'll put the video back within this for this last 27 minutes. But we learned today about the PPDA. We learn about the business law, the definition of the business law, and how to be applied. We learn about there is a relationship between the business ethics and the business law. The ethics and law, there is a relationship. We talk about the public law, we talk about the private law, we talk about criminal law, and we took some examples of each one of them. And we also talk about the administrative law, but we will focus on the administrative by the next lecture. Thank you so much. So I will leave you to answer this question now. What did we come to learn today? What did we come to learn today? Thank you so much. What did we come to learn today in this lecture? And those are the things, the points which we focus upon in this lecture 1. Those are the things which we focus upon. Thank you so much. Thank you. What did we come to learn today? You can open the slides. You can see another videos on the websites, including what did we come to learn today, those topics. Each one of them, you can go for details for Google if you want. Okay.